Alright, in this video I'm going to tell you some of the key things you should think about before moving to LA. It's way different here than in other parts of the country. The distance between things really throws people off. The weather is not as predictable as you'd think, and you better have great insurance for that car of yours. So stick around until the end so you can catch my top tips for navigating the city. Let's talk about it, and let's get after it. Hey, if you're new to this channel, I talk about living in Los Angeles and what it's like to work and play here. I'm also a local realtor here and cover real estate topics. If you're thinking about moving here or you have questions about real estate, please reach out, send me an email or call me. Make sure you tap that subscribe button and click that little bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. I'm happy to share what I've learned in the short time I've been here. I moved from Washington, D.C., and I actually see a lot of similarities here in LA. But anyway, please reach out, and I'm happy to help you make a smooth move to Los Angeles. One thing you must know about LA is that you can do anything here. If you want to reinvent yourself or start a new career or meet successful people, here's the place to do it. I changed careers. I moved here, started as, brand new life here as a real estate agent. A friend of mine left her corporate job at Google and now works here as a film writer. It's not easy, but you can do anything here. You just have to be persistent. That means getting up every day and doing the work. If you take care of the work will take care of you. Your net worth is your network. Okay, enough of the catchphrases. But seriously, you should network as much as you can while you're here. One person you meet could change your life. So get after it. You should know that LA is an island. Well, not literally, but it can feel like an island. If your family is not in the area, it will feel like another country for them to come visit. When you're in the Midwest or on the East Coast, you're more connected to other cities and regions. And here you've got the desert on one side of LA and the ocean on the other side. San Diego is about 2.5 hours south, and San Francisco is about 6.5 hours north. There's a lot of cool cities in California, but it still is like its own country. There are a few benefits to that. One is that you can get cheap flights to Mexico and South America, and Vegas is close too. Denver's not too far either if you're a winter or sports, mountain person. On a similar note, you may have some long-distance relationships in LA. I mean, it'd be considered long distance anywhere else. Like, I met a girl here on Hinge, and we dated for about 2 months, and she lives way out on the east side of LA, so it would take me 90 minutes to drive there in traffic and 45 minutes on the way back, and it'd be similar for her coming my way. But it felt pretty normal driving that much. I mean, it was annoying, but at the time it was worth it. Again, I just put on some music or audiobooks and embrace the suck of LA traffic. I hear people complain quite a bit about dating here, and I understand why. LA is transient, career-focused city just like DC. I don't know why I thought I'd have better luck here. But if you start joining some groups and social events, you can meet new people fairly easily. Everyone's looking to expand their network here. The weather here is nice, but you really have to be careful in the sun, especially if you're from the northern areas or the East Coast. 3 hours in the sun in New York or Chicago is not nearly as dangerous as 3 hours here in LA. The UV index can be up to 50% greater here, meaning more damage to your skin and eyes. I almost never go outside without sunglasses and sunscreen, and a hat helps as well. If you end up getting burned throughout your life, you're going to look old. And you also raise the risk of melanoma and other skin cancers. I know personally because at 19 I was diagnosed with skin cancer. Check out this scar. So all I'm saying is be careful in the sun. If you think about it, people who evolved to live in this climate were Native Americans with naturally darker skin and more melanin. So if you're white like me and have European ancestry, you need to protect yourself even more. I digress. I used to ride a motorcycle, and I learned a ton about driving safety, not just for motorcycles. One of the biggest pieces of advice I heard from our instructors was to drive like you're invisible. Because you're so small compared to the size of a car, people have trouble seeing you. I was almost hit multiple times because of that, and even with a bright blue bike and white helmet. But as for driving in LA, I would give you guys the same advice. Drive like you're invisible. The drivers in LA are disrespectful, and most people in the city aren't from the area. It's like a big herd of lost sheep. Seriously, it feels like most drivers here just got their license. And please, if you're driving, put your phone down. One other thing that people don't mention that does cost a lot here is car insurance. It seems to be much higher, and I talked to an insurance guy and he explained that of course it is because of all the nice cars here. Driving around West LA, it's all Mercedes and BMW, Lamborghini, Bentleys. That's part of the reason the insurance is so much. I'd really recommend visiting Los Angeles before you move here. It's really glamorized in all the movies and TV shows, and it's really not like that here. Most of what you see on TV is like Beverly Hills and Bel Air and the Hollywood Hills, and that's just not reality for most people. And if you're rich, sure, you can have that lifestyle, but if you're on a budget like most of us, you won't really see that side of LA. I visited here about 4 times before realizing that I could live here, and it's still a massive adjustment. You should drive around here, before you move here. Then you can also see what the neighborhoods are like and where you might like to live. I made a video about the top 5 neighborhoods in LA, so be sure to check that out. Some of the areas I recommend most are Mid-City, Fairfax, Downtown, and Silver Lake. Where I live right now, Fairfax is actually very walkable, and you can get most of your errands out of the way without even needing to drive. And if you're relocating here, I'd love to help with your transition. Feel free to reach out. It's also helpful to be aware of some of the costs of moving and living here. To move here, you'll need to calculate shipping and relocation costs. So it's a little more expensive than Chicago here, and about the same as Washington, D.C. So the biggest factor here in Los Angeles, of course, is the cost of housing compared to the rest of the country. You can expect to pay an average of $2,800 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment and about $1,900 a month for a 1-bedroom. Downtown and the beach areas will be more expensive, and the southern and eastern areas of LA will be a little cheaper. So if you're looking to save money, I'd recommend checking out Mid-City and also Koreatown if you still want to be centrally located. Los Angeles is huge. It's actually over 80 cities, so the costs vary widely. There are general numbers, these are general numbers we're talking about here, and every neighborhood is different. The West Side and downtown are the most expensive areas. For me, I like living between downtown and the beach, so I can get to either relatively quickly. LA is expensive, but it's not even in the top 10 in the US. So those are a few must-know items that I consider crucial when moving to Los Angeles. Basically, to accept driving long distances in bad traffic, be careful in the sun, get ready to spend some money, and be prepared to stay committed to your goals and chase your dreams. Meet with some other folks out there with the same goals as you so you can be accountable to each other. I just met a new friend who wants to build his business just like me, and we can chat and share ideas and keep each other motivated. More content coming out every week. Please let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're thinking about moving to Los Angeles or you have questions about real estate, please reach out to me here. And if you think I'm way off base about LA, tell me. I'll continue doing lots of videos, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell so you know every time a new video is coming out.